Hey everybody, Sam here with another In Defense of Bad Movies Minisode. That is, of course, when we tell you all about the movie that we will watch in 2 weeks. Probably closer to 1 week right by now, but we'll see how that goes if we can actually schedule it. Because we've been late, and you know what? Que sera, man. This is the real world. We all have lives. Some of us have jobs, and we can't always get our podcast out on time. So stop nagging us, okay? No, but seriously, we're sorry. Sorry it's late. The next movie we are going to do is Evita, which I know what you're thinking. That's only 62% on Rotten Tomatoes, technically certified fresh. But on Metacritic, it's 45%. So that is a crappy movie. Okay, we're kind of bending the rules on this one because it is a borderline movie, but Laura, who is going to be defending it, believes that it kind of gets the shaft now. So we will see if we agree with that. I've never seen the movie before, and I don't know about the rest of the group, so we'll see what happens. So that is next week, or in, 2 weeks. That is our next episode. We hope you will join us. But first, before we do that, let's do another episode of Themes Like Old Times. Take it away, Sam and Loren. Hey everybody, Sam here and Loren.
Hiya.
And we are doing part 2 in our mini-series of the Disney
Afternoon
yes.
Night.
2 episodes ago. Yeah, Disney Afternoon.
I know you guys been waiting. You were real bored last time. Sam was just talking about the Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons but we're back! Is one of the greatest theme songs of all time.
It's okay. No, it's good. It's good. It's iconic.
There's streaks in the china. They never. No, never mind. That's Mr. Belvedere. That's Fish Don't Burn in the Kitchen. Never mind. We're rehashing what happened before. But so part 2.
Part 2.
We did DuckTales 2 episodes ago.
Classic.
And this time we are taking 2 other iconic Disney characters.
Yes, we are.
And take it away, Lauren. What are we doing?
We are doing Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
That's right.
Yeah, boys. Now, surely you've all seen it. I don't even need to go into it. But conceived initially to add to the success of DuckTales, which garnered a huge amount of success for Disney, they decided they wanted to expand that and added a few series of shows to bulk out what eventually became Disney Afternoon. And Chip and Dale was the second to sort of slot into that arena. Reading about it was neat. It was initially conceived, the person who came forward wanted to do series that was like The Rescuers, which Disney nixed because they already had The Rescuers Down Under movie in works. And so moving it forward, they wanted to come up with like an Indiana Jones type mouse who wore a fedora and a bomber jacket with a woolly collar. Anyone gets the iconography on this? But they imagined it as a mouse called Kit Colby. He was going to have a weird team of creatures. There was a chameleon. There was a Monterey Jack type character, an early prototype for Gadget. And so he took this into Eisner, and they decided to nix the mouse and bring in Chip and Dale to bring in some, Disney cachet, with recognizable characters.
Interesting.
And as you can see, Chip's looks a lot like the original idea for the Kit Colby character. They wanted Dale, since he's the goofier one, he's got the Hawaiian shirt, to be more of a Magnum P.I. look. This is what the initial critique said. Because you know how goofy Magnum P.I. is.
Oh, yeah. What's interesting? I've always thought that Chip and Dale's names were backwards. Like, Chip should be the jokey one, because Chip is kind of like that's not a real name. It's a nickname, whereas Dale is an actual real name, and
Chip is a real name too. It's just an unfortunate real name.
Is it a real name? Like there are actually people who were born in the like males who were born, and the parents say, I'm going to name this person Chip. And Chip is going to possibly be the next president of the United States.
Chip should be your name. Oh, I wish Chip were the next president of the United States.
Chip Anderson.
I think anyone right now. Chip Anderson's such a just nice, clean-cut name. You can trust that guy. No, it's a weird name. Yeah. It's one of those, like, forever childish names. But for a chipmunk, it works just fine. And Dale's a goofy name.
Is it?
Dale.
When I think of, I don't know. Dale feels like a CPA. Dale's 100% a CPA. I would trust Dale with my taxes.
Well, not in this series.
Not this Dale, no.
Chip is the go-getter, and then Dale, though entirely competent, is goofy and more fun-loving. They were voiced by Tress MacNeille and Corey Burton, mainstays of obviously any vocal studio. But they would, have their voices sped up and pitched up, especially Chip because he's got the higher voice.
Tress MacNeil is so talented.
I know. Oh, she's in everything.
Yeah, she's
my
amazing.
baby.
My baby.
She's the Wilhelm scream of vocal recording. It's great.
She's such a pro too.
She's great. So the series premiered in 1989 on the Disney Channel, which is not a thing I remembered really. Oh. It had a 2-hour movie premiere that was then broken up into a 5-part series run in syndication.
Okay. Interesting.
And then it slotted into the Disney Afternoon in 1990. And it continued to run there from until 1993. Wow. Which again, like the same thing we have with DuckTales. Like, wow, that's so short. That's all.
Right,
That's all of my life that this was.
That is surprising. But I guess, if it gets in there in that window, it's, your formative years, it's going to stick.
Mm-hmm. But it was and it really did. It was such a cool show with the ensemble cast and the adventures they'd go on, and strong female character was very exciting at the time. Gadget was, brainy and capable. It was and it was such a good show. So Tress voiced 2 characters. Good for her.
Oh, nice. She's good.
Because she's amazing.
Yeah. The theme song. You want to talk about that?
Oh, classic theme song.
Lyrics by Mark Mueller. We've heard this name before.
He did the DuckTales theme tune as well. He's an ASCAP award-winning pop songwriter.
I wouldn't be surprised if we hear his name again.
I don't know if we will.
Really?
We'll have to look at because we don't do pre-research. Our style of research is on the day. What can we learn?
And and sometimes it's not much. The Jeff Pescetto?
I think it's Jeff Pescetto sang the original version on the standard version on the theme tune, but then it was later recorded by the pop group The Jets.
Pescetto sounds like what children call spaghetti.
Oh, so pescado and meatballs.
Jets. I very much remember from my youth or childhood when from my adolescence, they were a big hitmaker pop group. Yeah, so. We could not, I don't look super hard. I was trying to, because we always strive to find the original versions of the songs. Mm-hmm. So we've been hearing this Pescetto version. We've not heard the Jets version.
I'd really like to find the Jets version,
Yeah, I might have to listen to it after this.
But really, nothing beats the just classic original. This was the theme tunes were so important, and this one was so exciting, and I'd get up and I'd do my little dance because I was so excited about the show. You'll hear there's the repeated ch-ch-ch moment in the tune, and I had a whole dancing feet at that moment, hopping around in time with it. I was a nerd.
Do you think Jeff Pescetto should have had a background group called the Meatballs?
Yeah,
Pescetto and the Meatballs.
Of course he should have. Why would you ask?
Yeah,
but it's spelled MEETBALLS.
Yeah, and maybe the E's are backwards or something, to make it feel like it was written by a kid. Although kids at that age really aren't writing anything. But anyway. What else have we got to say about this iconic show and its iconic theme song?
It's just awesome. Again, the fear of revisiting it, which I've not really done as a grown-up, but just remember it so fondly, and just what's to say? It was such a great combination of the comedy and adventure, taking what we had with DuckTales and making it slightly more mature, since technically the characters were all grown-ups, and so...
Yeah, again, I wasn't really into this show. I had aged out of it. And when I say that the show and theme song are iconic, I might be pushing a little bit. It's a good theme song.
It's iconic.
Probably a fine show, but it's not iconic like DuckTales iconic.
I think that you're correct in that it is lesser known. DuckTales somehow is just so much more pervasive.
And also, when we were reading it, the lyrics, there were things or listening to the lyrics the first time back, it was okay, I kind of remember this, and we should have it down when we perform it, but we've gone through it a few times, and there was that's what's being said there. Okay,
I'll admit absolutely the same thing. I listened to the song so many times, and I never understood that was the lyric. All right.
Well, you're too busy dancing.
Exactly.
You're doing your.
I'm a child. It does not matter to me. I'm a 10-year-old, and this is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Everything that happens when you're 10 is the greatest thing that ever happened. I don't know if that's true. I think people, this is way going off on a tangent, have a tendency to either positively or negatively exaggerate how they really felt about childhood.
Really?
They can put on the rose-colored glasses. A lot of people do that. They have this nostalgia for childhood. And then I hear, like, especially comedians will talk about how people do that and how childhood actually sucks.
Childhood does suck, though. I think I would definitely come down to that. Like, there were things that were great about childhood, and the passion with which I loved things as a child.
Those are things, you know what I think that is? Things you had control over.
That's true. Like
I think looking back at childhood, what sucks most is, like, all your choices are your parents' choices. It's like,
that's a really
everything
good
you had
point.
to do was your point.
And so the things that I am into are all that I can really be.
Yeah.
I can't drive anywhere or make any voting choices.
And I remember when I was a kid, like, to watch something on TV or something, we couldn't just say, "Oh, I'd like to watch that show." With my dad, we would have to say, like, you would have to be impassioned, and he'd be like, "Okay, fine, we can watch this crap." And, you know, if it's anything less, it's like, you know, his choice always trumped ours. But if we were like, "No, please, I really love this show. I really want to see what's going to happen to Judge Harry Stone or whatever," then maybe he would relent. So, yeah, you have to do that. At least in my house.
He wasn't into Night Court?
No. Aww. He was not a comedy person.
Oh.
We'll talk about that. No, I don't know if we'll talk about that later.
How would it come up in the podcast?
Yeah. No, I mean, when we do the Night Court theme song, then it might come up. I don't know if it will or not, because that's not how we roll. It's very stream of consciousness. It doesn't always go back to my childhood traumas.
Not always.
It's always right there under the surface of what I'm doing, but it's not always. It's subtext. It's not text. Anything else to say about it? About Chippendales, Loren?
It's awesome. I think. I hope. 10-year-old Loren fully gives it her endorsement.
I wonder how many frames per second it was. If it was some cheap, like, Hanna-Barbera 12 frames a second.
It was better than Hanna-Barbera, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's Disney, so they spent plenty of money on it and put effort in to make it look as good as, you know, your syndicated animation could. It looked better than later stuff. Like, I think Disney Afternoon, and part of why we're doing this is like the golden age of it. And even though it's syndicated and kind of as cheap as we can make it, it still looks good. If you compare it with later, like Aladdin the animated series or Hercules,
yeah, it doesn't look good.
Like those get real cheap looking. These still kind of have a nice lushness to them.
Yeah. I wonder if they were still figuring out the costs to, you know, like, I bet they figured out that, like, oh, it really doesn't matter what we spend on it. Kids are going to watch crap. And whatever crap we put out, they'll watch
Which is
it.
a shame, because you've always felt like Disney, it will go through spurts of that, but you feel like there is overall an understanding that children appreciate quality and that they want to put the effort in for the quality. And every now and then they lose sight of that, but it feels like they always come back to it eventually.
And that's what I was going to say, is I think it's fundamentally untrue. I doubt that Aladdin and Hercules were as big in their time as DuckTales and Chippendales were in theirs.
True. But it always like cycles through, and I believe that like that was something that Walt Disney himself, for all of his myriad flaws, like respected children and their recognition of value and intelligence.
I agree. Yeah. And let's hope it keeps up. So shall we sing?
The best part of the show. Let's
go.
Yeah.
All
right. Da, 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 da. Sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks, but these two gumshoes are picking up the slacks. There's no case too big, no case too small. When you need help, just call Chippendales Rescue Ranger. Chippendale when there's danger. No, it never fails once they're involved. Somehow whatever's wrong gets solved. Chippendales Rescue Ranger. Chippendales when there's danger. Oh no, it never fails. They'll take the clues and find the wheres and whys and who's. Chippendales Rescue Rangers. Chippendales when there's danger. Chippendale.
I have to say, I do find these lyrics better than the DuckTales ones.
You do?
Yeah.
There's nothing really confounding like the Cottontails. What?
And find the wheres and whys and who's. I think that's actually a pretty clever rhyme.
We really had that one down. We listened several times and could not suss that out.
Right.
And the first lyric list we came up with did not include that verse.
Yeah, it had the quote-unquote extended one, presumably by the Jets, but they must have left this out and replaced it with a bunch of other stanzas. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. It's simple, of course.
Yes.
But yeah.
And people with stuttering problems might be offended by it. But otherwise,
really good
no
point.
problem.
But oh man, it's so fun to dance to. It's so upbeat. Like, DuckTales is good. It's a good song. Don't get me wrong. It's got a nice little, like, you can do a Running Man to it. But this, like, oh, it's real. The ch-ch-ch-ch, it's so good.
I could see you, I've not seen the dance, but I could see you, like, scooting back on the chips on one foot. Good, okay. All right, thanks, Sam and Loren. That was, of course, Themes Like Old Times. And remember, join us in our next episode as Laura defends Evita. She might be defending it to a bunch of people who agree with her. We just don't know. That's the magic of this podcast that you're listening to right now. All right, thanks for listening, and we'll see you then. Take care. Bye.